Welcome, everyone. My name is Harish Niragata. I'm part of Enterprise Manager Product Management team. In this session, you'll get insight into innovations in database lifecycle management pack. This will also include recently released and upcoming solutions that helps you in enhancing security posture of your databases and Exadata engineered systems. A quick recap, database lifecycle management is a licensable pack that provides a rich set of features. With DBLM, you can manage and secure your assets compliance with industry and regulatory standards like CIS, STIG, HIPAA, or PCI DSS. You can strengthen configuration security, manage changes, especially any undesired changes to reduce the risk of breaches. You can leverage built-in autonomous health framework ExaCheck to secure and manage your Exadata infrastructure stack for any health, performance, and security issues. And you can standardize and consolidate Oracle Home configurations. And finally, ensure your assets have security patches applied to protect from breaches. There are numerous benefits of leveraging solutions in DBLM. Number one is lowering the cost. It's directly tied to addressing your CapEx and OpEx. It helps you in consolidation of assets for ease of deployment and management across hybrid multi-cloud environment. You can assess utilization of deployed assets over time and make data-driven new capacity determination. And you can automate complex, time-consuming, and repetitive operations to reduce your overall OpEx. Second benefit is all about proactively managing and reducing risk. You can standardize, consolidate, and secure configuration of each of your database assets. As an example, you can standardize on well-known Oracle Home configurations. This means you can lower the maintenance cost, enhanced security posture, and also ensure compliance with your IT security and audit policies. Today, DBS spend lots of time each day in time-consuming activities. You can automate tactical day-to-day operations, leveraging APIs and CLIs so that DBS can spend their precious time in innovating new solutions to grow your business. And that's your third benefit. Just to summarize, you can get automated security patch recommendations, automate complex patching activities, standardize on Oracle Home configurations, be compliant with industry and regulatory standards, monitor and manage undesired configuration changes, and take stock of inventory and its utilization over time. As I mentioned earlier, in today's session, I'll call out recently released and upcoming solutions that helps you in enhancing your security posture of your databases and also underlying Exadata engineered systems. Before I can get into specific details of the solution, I want to take a moment to look at various stakeholders in your organization where each of them have critical roles to play for securing your assets. CFO, your Chief Financial Officer, who is responsible for all the financial aspects of the company, plays the role of an influencer in making sure required regulatory compliance requirements are in place to ensure each asset is secure and compliant with audit policies. And CFO wants to make sure there aren't any negative financial implications because of breaches or non-compliance to auditing requirements. Your Chief Information Security Officer has key responsibilities in ensuring security of every assets that are deployed in your organization. And other stakeholders like CIOs, architects, DBAs, and system administrators have similar responsibilities. If you look at roles of each of these stakeholders, the top security concerns are monitor and manage risks, be it in applying security patches to address known vulnerabilities or potential misconfigurations and other security threats, and also to ensure each asset is compliant with audit policies. So you will see a consistent theme across various levels within your organization. And that is mainly because of numerous security challenges you deal with it to make sure your assets are not breached by bad actors. If you look at various industry reports tied to breaches, you'll find 4 key macro level reasons. Number one, unpatched systems. Assets with missing security patches that make them highly vulnerable. About 21% of the breaches are due to unpatched systems, even though patches were available but not applied. The second challenge is around risk management and compliance. In the recent past, more and more companies are elevating their IT risk management and measure their security posture against the compliance defined by respective security office. It's critical to make sure your database configurations are secure and compliant, and you want to monitor and manage any deviations quickly to protect your sensitive assets. And as we know, breaches will have business interruptions, negative branding that can be impactful. Compliance, IT governance, and data governance are considered top risk areas for auditors to address in their audit plans in 2023. The third challenge is around misconfiguration and sprawl. This is another area of concern for various stakeholders, and this has become the preferred ways for bad actors to exploit and get hold of sensitive information. More than 45% of the breaches are due to misconfiguration today. And misconfiguration typically occurs when an employee with elevated privileges stands up a production environment without aligning with security controls defined by your security office. And configuration sprawl adds to these vulnerabilities. What this essentially means is there are way too many configurations of the same product in your environment, creating a configuration pollution scenario. And the challenge is managing numerous variants of Oracle homes created by various users within your organization. And you will notice within a short period of time, you will reach a point where it becomes unmanageable. And these configuration variations increases the risk and your overall support cost. And if you're doing all these with homegrown scripts, your overall cost over a period of time is bound to grow higher. The fourth challenge is around compromised credentials. Just in 2022, 74% of the breaches involved use of stolen credentials, weak passwords, shared credentials, and privilege misuse. People continue to play a very large role in security incidents and breaches today. And these are precisely some of the reasons why various stakeholders in your organization have a role to play with key strategic priority of securing customer data. In the remaining part of this session, I'll walk you through few solutions within Database Lifecycle Management Pack that addresses each of these challenges. To begin with, let's look at risk management and compliance area that will help you secure your configuration, manage anomalous behavior, and audit your environment for stated compliance practices. Protecting your customer data is the most critical goal. You need to safeguard that data with security controls that restrict access according to your policies. And these policies could be completely defined by your security office or using either industry security controls and manage for compliance of each of these controls. While securing your Oracle databases are great, it is extremely critical to secure your underlying infrastructure also. Thus, by securing the entire stack, you can get an unified view of overall security compliance of all these targets managed by Enterprise Manager. There are a broad set of out-of-box standards for databases like CIS STIG, for Linux hosts like STIG, PCI DSS, and HIPAA, and also Exadata engineered systems. Leveraging this, you will get compliance reports that both your internal and external auditors can review for conformance to security policies. And you can automate remediation of violations, thus reducing the overall OpEx in manual remediation of each target. Compliance Framework recently integrated DBSAT for enterprises to do configuration and security assessment of database assets at scale in one workflow. Very recently, we released support for sensitive data assessment using DBSAT also. So if you are using DBSAT today for both configuration and sensitive data assessment manually, one target at a time, you can automate that entire process via Enterprise Manager and assess at scale on a daily basis. Mid-2022, Compliance Framework integrated Oracle Autonomous Health Framework, Exacheck for Exadata engineered systems. Exacheck is a lightweight and non-intrusive health check framework for software and hardware stack components in Exadata. You can leverage this for on-premises, physical, or virtual Exadata. We also recently released support for Exadata Cloud at Customer, and soon we will have support for Exadata Cloud Service. EM compliance evaluation happens every day automatically. You can download the evaluation report for record keeping and any offline assessment. However, you may have a need to review compliance violations over time for auditing purposes. So let's say a specific security control violates the policy at different intervals of time. You will want to know the rationale for violation and recommended remediation. And you may need this to be assessed and compared over time and not just look at the latest report. And this is where EM Warehouse can help you. This is a cloud-based solution that stores all Enterprise Manager data for long-term analysis. You can build interesting custom analytics, trend compliance violations over time for a given control, and detect anomalies and do more. This cloud-based solution provides additional value for Enterprise Manager customers. You can enable custom analytics. In fact, you can combine cloud telemetry with on-premises data for more workload analysis and analytics. Check out Enterprise Manager Warehouse and Operations Insight at oracle.com. Now, let's look at another scenario that is tied to addressing unpatched systems that I mentioned earlier. Enterprise Manager has a solution called Fleet Maintenance that helps you in exactly addressing this critical challenge. At a high level, Fleet Maintenance is Enterprise Manager's patching and upgrade solution. You can secure your databases and grid infrastructure by applying all required patches. Fleet Maintenance is an out-of-place, end-state-driven solution. This has the ability to provide recommendations of Oracle published patches and also identify your database targets that are missing these recommended security patches. There are tangible benefits. Fleet Maintenance enables you to always have security first or patch to secure process in place. You can comply with your patch policies, get insight into vulnerabilities in each of your managed targets, provide configuration recommendations so that you can standardize on well-known set of configurations, and you can lower your overall operational expenses. One unified interface for managing your assets across hybrid cloud environment. You can leverage guided intelligent workflow for automated risk assessment and security patch recommendations. With this one tool, you get consistent user experience, no new skills to be learned for on-premise or cloud assets, and you can schedule patching operations. Fleet Maintenance supports databases 11.204 onwards, all the way to 21C and beyond across broad range of underlying environments, whether it is commodity hardware, Oracle's Exadata engineered systems, Exadata Cloud, be it Cloud at Customer or even Exadata Cloud Service, and also your databases in any public cloud, as long as they are discovered and managed by Enterprise Manager, like for example, Oracle databases in AWS EC2. You can patch and upgrade single instance databases, multi-tenant, both at container database level and also pluggable databases, rack configurations, grid infrastructure. And these database assets can be updated with or without data guard configurations in play. Oracle has another solution called FPP. We have integrated that with fleet maintenance. With this, even FPP customers can leverage EM's guided intelligent workflows for automated risk assessment, security patch recommendations, and proactively patch using EM's smart user interface. And leverage comprehensive APIs for automation besides other native EM platform capabilities. And this FPP integration is part of Database Lifecycle Management Pack. And to leverage all these capabilities, FPP customers must license Database Lifecycle Management Pack. Today, account takeover is one of the most common methods by bad actors. A user with elevated privileges is at a risk of being compromised. Enterprise Manager provides common framework for PAM solutions like CyberArk, HashiCorp, Delinea, Orcon, and more. With Enterprise Manager wired up with PAM solution, token-based credentials authentications will happen over encrypted channel. And you can leverage this framework for operations like database patching and reduce the risk of security exposure and expensive data breaches by misuse of elevated privileges. We continue to innovate new solutions and capabilities to solve your day-to-day strategic and tactical challenges to keep your assets secure. We have done significant enhancements to fleet maintenance UI to support multi-tenant upgrade and patch operations, upgrade non-multi-tenant to multi-tenant, and provide scheduling flexibility. Comprehensive REST APIs are available to automate all your operations, including rollback of databases and rack assets during patching and upgrade operations. And within security space, as I mentioned earlier, we support PAM authentication model for database patching, and TDE support for provisioning and patching is also supported. Now, a quick insight into upcoming innovations and capabilities. First solution is about automated security patch recommendations. One of the reasons for you to patch your targets is to apply all recommended security patches published by Oracle. As and when Oracle publishes critical patch updates, CPUs every quarter, you want to make sure the recommended security patches are applied on all the affected database assets. Let me walk you through a scenario of the problem statement here. Let's say Oracle published their July CPU and it had few recommended security patches. If you assessed and applied those patches before next CPU, you are in good shape. But let's assume you don't have quarterly patching model aligned with CPU releases. Now, October CPU comes out that has few more recommended security patches. Now in October, you have patches from July CPU plus October CPU. Fast forward to January CPU that also has few recommended security patches. Your outstanding security patches have ballooned up on last 3 CPU releases. More importantly, you have database assets missing security patches for the last 9 months, which makes them more vulnerable. Fast forward again to April CPU, which has its own set of recommended security patches, and cumulative from last 4 quarters, you have ended up with good number of recommended patches. At a bare minimum, if you are not aligned with quarterly patching cycle, you have essentially increased vulnerability risk of your database assets. This is one problem statement. And the second problem statement is tied to steps you take to identify list of security recommended patches as and when CPU is released. The typical steps you take are, you review each Oracle CPU bulletin when published. You go to MOS, look for published recommended patches, do the manual mapping of CVEs listed in the CPU and patches published in MOS, get the desired list of recommended patches, get the severity of each recommended patches. Amongst thousands of your database assets, determine affected assets, because you don't know if all assets are affected or just subset of those at this point of time. And then apply your required patches to these vulnerable assets. On an average, an enterprise IT spends 12 man weeks, which is about 1 quarter in a year for one DBA, just to do this entire assessment. And that's a lot of DBA time that could be leveraged for growing your business. So wouldn't it be ideal if fleet maintenance can solve all this for you in an automated manner, where it provides prioritized recommended security patches, provides insight into affected database assets, and also provides workflow to apply these patches to the affected assets to ensure patch compliance, and all of it in a single pane of glass. This is where our brand new Fleet Maintenance Hub comes into play. Fleet Maintenance Hub is a powerful one-stop place for customers to get insight into vulnerabilities for database assets and apply patches to affected assets, and also secure each of those. As and when Oracle publishes quarterly CPUs, this brand new will automatically give you insight into affected gold images. You can apply the patch to these affected assets once corresponding gold image is refreshed with all required patches. So this is a one-stop place, as I said earlier, giving you a single pane of glass view for security patch recommendations, insight into vulnerabilities, and workflow to apply those patches to keep you secure. Fleet maintenance is your one solution for patching and securing your entire databases and grid infrastructure. But how do you patch your Exadata engineered systems today? Wouldn't it be ideal to have one tool that can patch databases, grid infrastructure, and also Exadata engineered systems? That's exactly what we are after. Here is a preview of this upcoming support. You can leverage Enterprise Manager's API and CLI to patch components like physical and virtual compute nodes, storage cells, KVM and Zen DOM guess, and also InfiniBand switches. With this, you can automate patching of multiple components across multiple Exadata systems. You can schedule, deploy, and update operations to align with your preferred maintenance window. Another evolution is in integrating AutoUpgrade with Enterprise Manager. With this integration, you can use API, CLI, or UI to do fleet level upgrades of non-multi-tenant to non-multi-tenant or multi-tenant to multi-tenant, with support for both TDE and non-TDE configurations. And once upgraded, you can leverage Fleet Maintenance Hub to get insight into vulnerabilities of upgraded databases and remediate. One other area of innovation is building intuitive user interface for gold image management. For past couple of years, you have been using REST APIs and EMCLIs. We are building guided UI workflow. This UI will be tightly integrated with Fleet Maintenance Hub so that you can get an intuitive end-to-end flow for fleet level vulnerabilities detection, create or refresh existing gold image, and update affected assets. Another preview is in compliance space. We are going to support next version of CIS benchmark for Oracle Database 19c. Also, updated version of new generation stick standards for databases 12C and 19C. These have comprehensive controls covering various areas like connection and login restrictions, ensuring users have only required privileges and grants. And CIS supports both traditional and unified auditing. This auditing also aligns with CIS Controls 8.2, which is all about collecting audit logs. Summarizing, with Database Lifecycle Management Pack, you can secure your assets, enhance security posture, be compliant with your security policies, and align with your auditing requirements. One tool for patching and securing an entire stack of databases, grid infrastructure, and underlying Exadata system components. Lower your CapEx and OpEx costs by consolidating and automating repetitive operations. Reduce your risk by standardizing on configurations, manage security of those configurations, and audit for compliance. Automate time-consuming and error-prone tasks and leverage your team's bandwidth for innovating new business solutions. There are resources available for you to learn more about DBLM. There are few videos and documents showing why and how you can secure your assets. Explore live labs for you to get hands-on experience for many of these functionalities and get the feel of the end-to-end user experience. Thanks for joining us.